The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter, or Patty's Page. I'm in location at Timothy B. Johnson's Fine Art Gallery. Wow, that's a lot of words to say, eh?
It's B building gallery is what we call it.
B building?
Yes, but the truth of the matter is it's all clandestine. I don't have the right to have a gallery here. I just did it.
Whoa, I like this guy. Anyways, we are here to look at his artwork, his paintings as well as sculptures. And you are a Renaissance man, or what kind of painter are you?
Oil.
Oil. So, where were you born and raised?
Well, you know, this is Fort Wayne. I was born here.
Yeah.
Yes, I was born here.
And what age did you become interested in art?
Well, you see, my father's an artist. Well, he just died, so he's not anymore.
I'm sorry.
Okay, but so anyway, I've been around it all my life.
So who taught you? Your dad?
No, he was non-objective, and I'm completely figurative.
Oh, cool.
That is to say, when you looked at one of my father's paintings, it was no object. You couldn't tell what it was.
Abstract?
That's a word that applies to so many different things. I don't really use it. A photograph as an abstract.
Oh, okay. So you can't really give it much of a definition.
Yeah, non-objective, no object.
No object.
Yeah, it's like the abstract expressionists, with the exception of de Kooning, were pretty much all non-objective.
Who influenced you as you were growing up? You painting and sculpting and stuff like that there. Who interests you the most? I'm sure you had more than one artist that you liked.
I like Soutine a lot.
Soutine?
Soutine.
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 Ah.
Nazis got him at the end.
Oh, I'm sorry. So,
Was no relation.
And also, the old arts, you know.
Oh, wow, yeah. I like all the classics. You know, Lucas Cranach is one of my faves from the north, from the south. Red Oak Chill.
Anyone from Canada? They're the Seven.
I've heard about the Seven.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're excellent.
Yeah, but no, nobody I can think of particularly. It seems the Canadians have a lot more success in television and cinema.
Vagina. Yeah. I had to come all the way down from Toronto to become producer and host of my own show. Anyways, what is it you see in your paintings? Why do you put so much into it?
Well, the images sometimes aren't as much as the surface. I like surface, I like paint, I like material, I like brush strokes and scumbling and impastos. I like all these things.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the light hits them from the side.
They come alive.
Well, you can see texture. There's one little thing over here, it's kind of an ugly painting, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about.
The smell. Ah, but
Yes, but when you look at it from an angle, you can really see all that texture.
Oh, yes. Yes, like a 3D thing.
Yeah,
In a way.
I like that. And you're mixing paint actually on the canvas when you're doing that, but
So you let it dry, then you put more on top, or you?
no, that was a one-shot deal.
Oh, okay. So do you basically put down a base first, and then you put certain colors, and then certain colors on top?
Sometimes
of
I
that?
paint on black, sometimes I paint on brown, sometimes I paint on white. I have no set method. It depends.
And you have been all over the world, have you?
I've been to a lot of it.
What's your favorite part then?
Mediterranean.
Mediterranean? Oh, I'd like to go sometime.
I've lived there 28 years.
Oh my stars. Well, you lived in France, eh?
17 years.
17 years, eh? You did, is there any painting?
I left $1 million there.
Oh, mercy.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any paintings
No, those are long gone.
depicting? Okay. So the ones.
France, well, look, there's Paris.
Paris? Paris?
That's Paris at night, right there.
Oh, that is lovely. We're going to go around and.
That's Monaco, the rest is all, that's Italian. Because I live in Italy now. see?
Yes? And you live near the ocean?
There's the Castello
The
of
sea?
France. Yes.
Okay.
I have a panoramic sea view. I can see Monaco from my front porch.
That's
That's
nice.
La Poule, France.
That is lovely. They got some nice houses over there.
No, it's a beautiful place. It's the French Riviera. What the hell? It's kind of known.
Oh, I know that. And, see, Monte Carlo, you been there?
Oh, yes.
Oh, dreary.
It's a dull affair.
So, yeah, you've been, how long have you been away from Fort, you come to Fort Wayne off and on, or?
It seems more and more that I have business here. I used to come like once a year or something, but now, you know, I've been here because I bought this studio boat. So now to make the studio boat pay for itself, I have to be here and have it in the water. I had a studio boat in the Mediterranean for years, but that went in the Big D.
This is so lovely. I like your whole art gallery, you know. You have done sculptures as well?
There's a bronze there. I've done a lot. That's all I've got left.
Wow. And we won't mention how much you are going to be selling them, but are you expecting to sell everything you have here?
That's already sold.
That's already sold, eh?
That big painting sold. You see there's a lot of holes on these walls. I've sold a lot of stuff since I've been here.
So what made you want to become an artist?
I never gave it a thought. It just sort of
Just came
happened.
natural?
Well, yeah, just sort of doing it, and then after a while, well, if you don't do it, then
Practice.
no. But I mean, if you don't do it, like if I don't do that for a week, you start to get it.
So you went to universities and all that. Did you learn your art?
You learn a bit there, but mostly if you're a good artist, you're an autodidact because you're going to be doing it all the time. You're learning from your own experience, plus looking at books. I learned an enormous amount by going to museums and any other observations you observe. You observe nature, you observe people, you just observe.
So what do you find? Do you find beauty? What you see?
I find beauty in decay.
In decay. Hello. I don't see any decay in here.
Are you kidding? Look at this place. It's a little shabby.
Oh, well.
That's decay. It's decadence.
But, you know, these paintings are elegant and exquisite, and they're beautifully done. It must have taken you a long time to do each one,
When people ask me how long it takes to make a painting, I say about 45 years.
Depends on what you're working on.
That's how long I've been doing it, maybe longer.
But for a wee one like that on the wall, that takes about a couple hours or a day or along with the shrimp boat.
Yeah, I don't know, because then you go back into them, so it's very difficult to say. You'll never pin me down on this, believe me. Many have tried.
Okay, I won't. I tried. You can't blame a girl for trying.
Can't.
Aye. So this one up here, Is this a joker
It's Il Magnifico, the magnificent one.
Ah.
And it's my son.
Oh, is it really?
Uh-huh.
How old is he now?
He's 19.
19.
Yeah, I think he was 8 there. But people find that painting a little disturbing for
Why?
some reason. I'm not certain why.
Oh, mystical and all that. Whimsical.
Yes, I guess it's a little too whimsical. I don't know. Somebody
Well-
actually bought it and
And gave it back?
no, they didn't give it back to me. It was a very good client where there's a trade-in involved.
Sure, that's nice. So,
I mean, when you get it, if they're really good people, I'm not running a library.
no,
but
I would just talk about these frames.
these frames,
Do you up close?
I find them in Europe.
Oh, they do far better over there than they do here.
Well, this was made in the 1850s in France, and France was a very wealthy place in the 1850s, and they had a lot of money to spend on things like this. Whereas in the United States in the 1850s, for example, here, this building didn't even exist.
Right.
People were scrapping for potatoes. They weren't thinking about paintings and picture framing and such things.
Is this gold?
It's gold leaf.
Gold leaf.
Yeah.
So you just do you put on your own gold leaf?
No, this is original gold.
Must be
That-
interesting trying to put individually, gently touch it in.
That's a whole new métier. That's a whole new job. That's not my job.
So that's so lovely.
My job is just to find the things, find them in good shape. I'm not interested in being a restorer of anything. I was just cruising around the Greek islands with a friend of mine just before I came to the United States.
Yeah.
Did that for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how long when you do come back from Europe, how long do you basically stay in this area in Fort Wayne?
Normally 3 weeks to a month.
Yeah.
But now since I bought the studio boat, I have to make it pay for itself, so I have to spend a little extra time here this time of year.
So weather over there in at the winter time in Europe, is it?
No, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry.
Well, I have palm trees and olive trees and lemon trees in my
Oh,
yard.
I
Those
love
don't-
it. Let's go.
They don't like the cold very well.
No, they don't. You have been interviewed by many TV or radio or
Yeah.
newspaper and all throughout
Yeah.
your career?
Uh-huh. Many in Italy
Oh, of course.
and France.
Because you,
I was on national television in France.
oh wow,
France 2.
what do you mean?
Uh,
You like it? What the
I
French
didn't think
people-
anything about it. We did an interview, and then I didn't think about it anymore. And my son, it was after my divorce, and my son
Oh, I'm sorry.
was up north with the family watching television. He called me up and he said, "Papa, you're a star."
What is this window? This window we're looking at right now.
That one?
Anybody I know?
That's really old.
Oh,
That's
I
probably.
agree. That's like
Is there a
sea
date
water.
on that?
I don't know. Right down there. 898.
98. Yeah, that's almost 20 years old. I remember painting it because my wife and her cousin came along in a car, and I was in the Estoril Mountains down behind Cannes. And I had a big umbrella, and I had carpets on the ground, a table, and a cooler. I used to really be extravagant. Now I'm a little simpler. It was really
When you're
nice.
young.
You make an office. You know, I'd have my little office. I did that. I was painting the lakes in Venice once, and the woman I was traveling with, she'd always go somewhere else. And she comes along, and I had the umbrella, the table, the chair, the music. I had Cuban cigars.
Stars.
The wine.
To town with that one. So,
Well, if you're really comfortable, you know, you just,
hang on.
yeah,
You enjoy the beauty of nature, you know.
that's right.
How about man-made like you have with the houses and that man-made artwork, not, you know, the old, like the gargoyles on castles. Do you do that? Or is there castles in Italy? Yes, there is.
They practically invented them.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to carve a lot of stone in Carrara, Italy, but now I'm old and it takes a lot of time, and so
So you did a lot of sculpture for a while?
yeah, I did a lot of marble
Any
sculpture.
left over besides that critter?
No, it's all gone. I don't own that now. That's old. I own no more of my own sculpture. None.
I bet they fetch a pretty penny. Took you a lot. It takes a lot of work to do.
Takes a lot of work. They're expensive. It costs $2,000 just a founder's fee to have that made.
Oh shoot! Really?
That's just the founder's fee. That's none of my labor.
Oh boy. So how long did it take to do that one then?
About 45 years.
45 years. I like this guy. We get along just fine. So when you first started out in painting, what was the main thing that you painted? Do you remember that far back?
Yeah, the sides of people's houses.
Ah! And you do pictures of faces too?
No, I painted the houses.
No.
That's how do you think I paid for going through school?
You went to several universities?
This was my first art school. Right here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you're sitting in the old Fort Wayne Art Institute.
Oh, it's lovely.
That was a building next door that belongs to my brother. And this was mine, and then there's two brick buildings on the other side of the alley. One of them was the BFA building, and one of them was the metalsmithing building. And then there's a building right behind this that was the sculpture building. And I own all those. And next door was a C building, and that had paint store and student union and what have you. But I got thrown out, alas.
Oh, you poor mud. Well, this is, what's that? That looks like it's in the Arizona area.
No, it's down the Keys. It's something that's going to get painted over. I don't like it.
You don't like it, yeah. Okay, interesting sunset. Or is it sunrise?
Oh, and then I went to Indiana University and then Bowling Green State University, and I have a BFA from the former and an MFA from the latter.
All in one breath.
And then I taught on the faculty of...
Did you know? You're a teacher, a professor?
I was on the faculty of Bowling Green State University. They invited me on the faculty after I graduated, and I did that for 3 years or something like that.
Do you do any Native American...
I have done. After I read a book, I'll often do something about it, but nothing comes to mind. I did something, yes I did. I did something for I have a lot of Indian friends, and I did a show in Italy with a bunch of Indians, and I was invited to be in the show with them. I was the only non-Indigenous American in the show. And I put Andrew Jackson on the bottom of a toilet seat. As you know, Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States, was responsible for the Trail of Tears.
And so is Mad Anthony.
He's not as bad as
No.
the 7th President of the United States. Was undoubtedly the worst we ever had. He is the one that ordered every indigenous American east of the Mississippi.
Cherokee.
All of them.
Oh.
All of them. It started with the Cherokees because they had a big chunk of land in northern Georgia and southwestern third of South Carolina, and the eastern third of Tennessee was the Cherokee Nation. Northern third of Georgia, that was the Cherokee Nation.
That was a big nation.
And it was their treaty was signed by no other than George Washington himself.
He didn't help.
And so the Cherokees went to the Supreme Court, and they won. And Andrew Jackson said, to hell with the Supreme Court, to hell with the Cherokees, to hell with all of that. They're going anyway.
They're still doing it, aren't they? In a way.
In a way, yeah.
Anyways, could we take a tour?
Yes.
get our legs moving. Arr.
This is hydrangeas. I worked on that for a long time.
Yeah, it's like a mirror.
That one's going to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, right. Into a business.
I don't know. I didn't even meet the client. It was sold. It wasn't even here.
Wow. So who does your selling while you're away, or you just do it yourself?
Who what?
You're selling up your.
When I'm gone, it's closed. That's
Right.
it.
Okay. All right.
Then I opened my European operation up and worked the other side of the pond.
I like that.
That's the
Shrimp boat.
This is, I talked about this being the school. Oopla. This is the faculty of the Fort Wayne Art Institute. I don't know how you're doing with glare on that, but this photograph was taken on the steps of this building.
All right.
That's Russ Edel, he was the director. Gabe DeLobe, Noel Dusenchon, Don Cruzy, Les Modes, George McCullough, Hector Garcia, and Norman Bradley,
I heard a Norman
and
Bradley.
John, I forget his name, I never had him. Anyway, this was the Fort Wayne Art Institute.
I can understand it. It looks like an artist's type of abode. So let's look at these.
You mean a big bordel?
Come on, dude. Okay.
That is Lanapoule, France.
We up there.
That's Key West, Florida.
Oh my stars. Do you have anything of this house?
No. I painted it once, I did paint
That
it
looks
once.
like Louisiana.
That's in South Carolina. It's in
South Carolina?
Beaufort, South
Who
Carolina.
lives in North Carolina? Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, this.
That's the village where I live.
Which one? The second one?
Yeah.
Oh, are you lucky? You are blessed. You got so much to paint. Let's look at the. This one by the sea.
That's Grimaldi, and this is the frontier because this is Monton, France in the background. And this is Grimaldi in Italy. And so just behind this cliff is the frontier, the French, Italian frontier, which now is clogged up with,
Dirt, garbage.
well, refugees from
Oh.
all the destruction we caused.
Oh.
Mostly they're flooding in for all of Africa to come in through Libya because Obama decided it'd be a good idea to take out Muammar Gaddafi, which now they're in full civil war. Kind of like Iraq, when Bush
And
decided
look
to take
what
Iraq.
we're doing with North Korea.
And now so you have all these refugees from all these unstable places pouring into Europe.
Yeah.
Thanks, United States. Thanks.
This looks like England. Is this England?
Huh?
Is that England?
That's Lakeside Park.
Here?
What are you, blind? Or is
Yes,
all
I am blind. I
abstract?
got a cataract.
I do too, apparently. This is Castellar, France.
Oh, fuck it.
Cervero, Italy.
Do you do churning water like that more often, or just do calm in the sea?
It's different every time.
There, each one of them.
Yeah, it's always different.
What is that
every
one with
time.
the
Here's one I painted on a boat. This one I painted on my studio boat here in Fort Wayne about 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's kind of an ugly little painting.
The one with the skull that I'm seeing behind that.
Which one?
Skull. Head.
Oh, that's a portrait of my son.
Oh, lovely.
And he's got the skull sitting on his head, and then the mâchoire inférieure is in front of his face.
Oh, my stars. Good looking chap.
He's a lovely boy.
I'm sure he is.
He is.
Ah,
This is in Italy. This is all Italian stuff here. Except for that's Monaco. Yeah, it's called the goat because there's a goat there looking down on
Oh.
Monaco. I'm not particularly fond of Monaco.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you painted a good job.
I don't know, I just felt like doing it, I guess. But then I kind of spit on it because I have a goat looking down on it. And there's this woman pissing in the fountain there.
I was wondering what that was. I was afraid to ask what it was.
You gotta have your lobster paintings.
Oh yeah, real good. Do you ever seen a big lobster in your day?
Oh, yeah.
One you don't want to eat, but it's.
That's Prince Giorgio. That's a print of a painting I made. He used to live across the street from me. He's dead now. I did a portrait. He was the Prince of Saborna. Giorgio Primo.
Good chiseled face.
Oh, he was a lot of fun. He was a good guy. This is an earthquake-ravaged village in Italy that in 1887 on Ash Wednesday, there was an earthquake and everybody was in church. The roof came down and killed every good Christian in the village. Nobody survived but the whores and the drunks. And so anyway, after World War II, hippies started to move in and settle it. And so I got a bunch of friends living there now. Squatters, they just squat. It's a beautiful place.
How old is it again?
Oh, it's medieval. I mean, Romans were there. The village as it stands is
Yeah, I
medieval.
can see some of the houses that have been wrecked from
Yeah,
the.
it wasn't purposely left them like that.
Is it a lesson or something, or just?
No, because
That's the way it is.
that's the way it is. And it looks very cool. But it is inhabited now. They have electricity and water again. I remember when they didn't. When, you know, we couldn't flush the toilet, we had to go outside to take a piss and, you know, well, for important stuff, it's kind of like a lake cottage, you know, we flush once a day or something.
I bet that lake is nice and clean now, eh?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a nice one down there.
That was down on the boat. That's up on Clear Lake.
Where's that?
It's up in northern Indiana, northeastern Indiana.
Oh, that's lovely. We're going to Eagle Marsh this Sunday to see off the monarch butterflies that go migrate down to Mexico.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. There'll be a lot of people there, you know, taking pictures and.
That's cool.
And of course, automated.
Automaton chicken. It's got a Hershey's Kiss.
Hi. I like you.
I like you, Patty. You're a good girl.
I am. Anyways, les fish.
Yeah, those are sardines.
So this year,
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a fresh one.
do you have people commission you?
More than I like.
Yeah. Oh. You can't say yes or no.
Well, that's a yes, because if I say more than I like, that means yes.
Oh, we. Oh, sorry. We'll switch that.
It's just, it's not as fun. You know, when I paint something that I want to paint, first of all, it's going to come off smoother and faster, because I'm doing something I just really wanted to do.
Oh, that's like
Whereas if you come up and see, you say, hey, I got an idea for you to paint
Have I
something.
got an idea?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Well, I'll do the best I can. Do you listen to music when you're painting?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what kind? Ordinary?
Oh,
Classical?
rockabilly.
Rockabilly? Oh,
No, punkabilly.
punkabilly.
Like the Cramps is my favorite.
Right now? Okay.
Yeah, that kind of Cramps. That's my favorite band. Sorry.
Right. But, yeah, I'm glad I came here to meet you.
Yes, I'm glad you came. It was fun.
I know.
And now I have to get to work on a commission.
Okay, kiddo. God bless.
And it is boring. I won't tell you what
So
for.
when are you going back home?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
Uh-huh.
Okay, kiddo. Well, safe travels, bon voyage, and all that. sort of
Okay.
stuff. You taking all this with you?
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay.
Not taking any of it with me.
All righty
I
then.
make paintings there.
Okay. Well, take care of yourself, sir.
Okay. You too, Patty.